These two devices have some similarities. First off, they both use a flush screen and bezel, and they look very similar at first glance. They're white bezel, a little bit of outer bezel. The Wisky's employing cream. This is more of a true white. They both don't have home screens. There's no home button, so to speak. This is a back button. And the Rata doesn't have really any buttons. You have to use the gesture support, which is really cool, but there's no home screen, to say the least. There's just the 4 things at the bottom on the Wisky. Now, we're not going to look at the usual stuff like apps and stuff, and that is because this is running Android and this is running Linux. So that eliminates a lot of the comparison stuff that we were going to show, like apps, app markets, alternative app stores, and of course the usual things like, you know, audio and trying to play video and all that, and that's because this has audio and the Rata doesn't. Now the Supernote is writing centric, which means right out of the gates you can draw on it. I didn't have to press scribble, I didn't have to do anything, and yes, this is an EPUB. It isn't a PDF ebook, it is an actual EPUB, and you can draw on it. That's really cool. You do have some ways to change the text if you tap the little double A button at the top. It's very simple. You have row spacing, margin, line spacing, 3 fonts, and 7 different ways to change your display. That is about it. Everything changes a little bit slow when you select it. It actually takes a while to go through the whole book and change it. But that's not what you buy this for. You buy this for its amazing capabilities to do note-taking. For example, there is no way to long press, but there is a way to actually highlight certain bodies of text, and in doing so, you've isolated that range in which you can do comment and summary and other stuff, and you see the lines actually turn into really nice lines. As well as you can do cool note-taking things, like if I want to star something, I draw a star. And even if I'm bad at drawing a star, it turns into a beautiful star, and then it's right there for you. You also have some stuff like you can slide the bar down, and that opens up the side rail here, and that's really cool. It's very gesture supporty. If you slide that away, it goes away. At any time on the left, you can slide that open and close. We'll show you more of that in the note-taking experience. And if there's too much clutter and there's too much staining on the screen, you just swipe up and it refreshes. The Wisky is a little bit more simple, I'll say, and that's because, well, it's a little more customizable. Okay, you know what? This is actually either incredibly simple or incredibly customizable. Reason being, it's Android, which means I have very limited menus on the stock reading experience. I'm talking really limited. Increase, decrease the text, line spacing, medium, large, font weight. It's very simple. There's not a lot to it. However, how it can be very customizable is that you can load in any app you want. It is Android, you can literally load in anything. Moon Plus, Rita, Aldeco, anything. For the stock experience, it is alright. It does open up basically any file format. This thing is very open source. It's actually running a phone OS of Android 7, so it is a little bit expanded, so the quality of the screen, although this is way quicker than the Supernote, the quality of the Supernote's characters and screen is actually a lot nicer than the Wisky itself, although this is very quick. We'll start here on the Wisky. We'll make some lines, so we're going to choose our pen size. To make this easy to see, we'll choose size 10, and what that means is we can make hairlines, well, kind of hairlines, and the thicker bleeds if we press harder, and you can do that at any time just by using the pressure sensitivity. We'll skip ahead to clear the entire page, make it look easy. When you draw a line and then flip it over to the back, this acts as the eraser. You'll notice that it will actually toggle over to the eraser when you erase, but if you're thinking it'll toggle back to the pen, it won't. So you actually have to click the pen again. Pen, erase, and it won't go back to the pen. That's a little bit of a downfall. It's not too bad. Clicking here, you actually have some backgrounds. You can load in your own as well by scanning for your gallery. Click the little button at the bottom to go back. You do have, this is very interesting, select type. It's not very informative as to what it does, but I'll show you. If I write 2 + 2 and then write my name right here and then click select type, I can click text. What that'll do is actually try to identify what I wrote. It didn't do an amazing job of it, actually not at all. If I click math, for some reason the math works better. You can see that it conformed all of my writing to something nice. And if I click diagram, it tries its best, but it just ends up being another Chinese character, and you can move it around for some reason, but that's basically it. In addition to that, you also get share, which basically just goes through the list of your apps to see what you want to share with. Bluetooth, Android Beam, share with Gmail, etc. We're not going to do any of that. You also have undo, redo, and you have add new page, delete page, and save notes like so. Now I'll do some actual writing here for you. The Supernote has a lot more functionality. We'll show you why. First, we're going to keep it on the highlighter because this thing actually has 3 different colors. Not colors like the DPT when you export you finally see them. No, actual colors. You have black, you have gray, and you have light gray. They all stay on the page. They don't, disappear or reappear or wait till you export or share. They're there and it looks really nice. So we're going to go ahead and clear that page by clicking the clear page all right in the middle there. Now we will select the pencil, and why we do that is because we can choose a really big ink and we can show you some lines and how quick it is. You can see that there's virtually no lag whatsoever. Even from the very tip of the pen when I move it, there's probably about that much space of lag before it actually kicks in, but it's very high quality. We're going to kill the whole page once more and go to this pen because this one has the best pen bleed. You can see that we're getting a little bit stainy. Well, all you do is just refresh it by swiping up, and there you go. So you have good levels of pressure sensitivity. You can actually make very nice hairlines or press really hard to make a good bleed. So that has a lot of good notes to it there. You have isolated erase by doing high detail erase like that, or you can isolate a certain area and it goes away just like that. I'm not going to go to the highlighter again. So you also have all the colors. Don't just refer to the highlighter, they go through everything. You have back and you have and forward, and you have a selector tool. So if I make a beautiful box like that and I select it like that, I can now move this around. In the here and now, they don't have any way to actually change the size or rotate or whatever, but they do have stamping or copying. So you can actually stamp something as many times as you wish. You also have share. So it will share to your email when you log into your email. You also have backgrounds, 2 pages of them, 4-square, sheet format, letter format, etc. You can go here and actually copy the whole page. So you've just basically copied it and you can confirm to copy that. You have this as well. And what this will do is actually screenshot the whole page that you've made into your hard drive, or your main storage rather. Clicking on this little link thing right here, you've added quick access, and quick access is located right here under quick access. You can do it with anything. We do it with EPUBs, PDFs, note-taking, absolutely anything. It's very useful. And you have new page as well. Now let's see how the writing is. The Wisky does more. The Wisky's faster. It has apps. It has Android 7, so you can just go to Google Play and actually download anything you want. Anything you want, and it works on it. Look how fast that runs. It runs so fast. It has dual SIM card slot. It has USB-C. It has stereo speakers on it. And it looks just like the Supernote. But when it comes to the real-world experiences, quality of the screen, quality of the reading app, and the note-taking experience and feedback, and the fact that you have to write with a $12 pen rather than a very expensive high-quality pen, that's where this fails. It's using a phone operating system, which means everything is expanded, the icons look a little bit dated and fuzzy at the top, and when it comes to the note-taking experience, it isn't as fast as the single-core Supernote. If you guys have any other questions, comments, or concerns, let us know. For GoodEeReader.com, this is Peter.